You are ignoring yourself to please other people, and you might not even realize when you are doing it because it's already second nature. This pattern causes frustration, resentment, sadness, and oftentimes deep inner loneliness. Even that on the outside, everything can look very fine. To be honest, I know that this has helped me back more than almost anything else in my life. The hardest part was that I didn't understand I was doing it, because when you're ignoring yourself, you just can't easily recognize that you are ignoring yourself. Let this sink in for a moment. I'm talking about this here because I have been ignoring myself for years, and I know what happens when you do that. In my 15 years as a coach and therapist, I've seen it again and again. This is one of the big things keeping people from feeling truly happy and fulfilled, even when they are successful. The thing is, it isn't really about being a people pleaser or doing something wrong. There are deeper patterns underneath this that make you ignore yourself without even realizing it. And it's time to recognize those now. You already know that you have a tendency to please other people. And I'm not talking about this cartoon version that we know from the movies where a person is just running around doing everything they can to get some applause or praise. It's not about that you're not self-confident or that you are feeling unworthy. This is a much deeper thing. You have a capacity and a gift to be really empathic with people. You understand why they are doing things, even that what they are doing is hurtful, or you recognize what patterns are running with them. And so while you are seeing and understanding other people doing the things that they do, even that they are crossing your boundaries, even that they are stepping over you, you are kind of neglecting what you truly need, because you can make always a good case for what is going on, and this makes it so difficult for you to recognize what you truly need. So in a way, you are balancing your own needs against helping others to feel comfortable in their own states. And this is so difficult because while you are so empathic and while you recognize what is going on with the others and understand them, you are neglecting to feel fully what is going on inside of you. Let's look at a real example. You are in an argument with someone, and what's going on there really hurts you. At the same time, you're also very aware of the feeling and sensations that the other person is going through. And it's not that you like what you're hearing, but in a way there is something inside of you that understands what is going on. And even that you are hurt, you already start to process what kind of patterns the other person has going on, what they might need, why they are feeling like this. You recognize they are stressed, or you find explanations for their behavior. And it's not that we're not feeling what is going on inside of us, but there is this deep underlying pattern to understand, to see the other person. And I wouldn't say like find excuses, but in a way being okay with what is going on because we see the other person in whatever ways they are acting out. It's a classic thing in those situations that after the argument is over, or maybe we end the discussion, we are already recognizing and explaining to ourselves what has been happening there with the other person. But making this compromise also means that you are not fully feeling and sensing what you need and what your boundaries are. And so you are in a way explaining away what doesn't really work for you. The problem isn't that you understand others too well, but the thing is that you override understanding yourself with understanding others too well. You can fully understand why another person is acting in the way they do. You can feel with them and see their patterns. But at the same time, you can also recognize and notice that what is happening here is hurting you and is not the thing that you want in your life. So you don't have to accept that. Experiencing those kind of situations can be very draining and exhausting. And it's not so much about understanding more what's going on in others, but it's really about building this awareness for yourself, what's going on with you. I've been creating the personal energy audit, which is a little playbook and some questions that help you to find out in which areas of your life you're getting energy and you are losing energy. It will help you to reconnect to yourself and find more balance and really see where you need to have more clearer boundaries and where you can maybe also even relax more to have a more fulfilling life. Check out the description, it's completely free and it's very helpful to get a better overview of what is going on. You don't need another person telling you what's going on inside of you, But you need to build this awareness where you are leaving yourself out. When we want to understand and change this pattern, we need to understand the different layers of it. Let's look at layer 1, understanding others. You naturally make space for other people's emotions. The thing is that you are very empathic. So you understand what's going on in them. You feel with them, even that what they are feeling might not even be what your own experience is. And of course, you also have this capacity to shift perspectives. So you have your own viewpoint, but you also can really, really well look through the eyes of the others. And this is a great gift. This is not something bad. But when you're using it consistently, also in situations that are not really good for you, then it becomes a problem. Layer 2 is forgiveness. And forgiveness is one of the greatest capacities a human being can have. But because you understand and you feel with others, it's also very easy to forgive. How many times did you experience it that on the evening in the argument you said, I quit, and the next morning, yeah, in a way it's already gone. And this is really valuable. But at the same time, it's also very important for you to notice where things are really hurting you, where things are not right, where forgiveness is not the next step, but you also might build a little bit of resistance so that you can process for yourself what you really need and what you don't want anymore. When you have the capacity for forgiveness, even when something is genuinely hurting you, you make room for it again. Layer 3, your own experiences disappear. So even that you have feelings and that you have emotions and that there are things that are hurtful for you, they vanish. You are suppressing what you truly need. Maybe you're not stepping in for yourself and set clear boundaries. And all of that doesn't really feel as strong as it sounds right now, because it is so normal for you to just give space. While you're processing the other person's emotions and states, you are losing contact with yourself. And this has consequences. So let's look into layer 4. Most of the time, when we are not aware of the pattern that is going on here, we are piling things up. And even that we're not aware of it, the weight gets more and more. And then at a certain moment, and I've seen that in my own life as well as my clients, something starts to take place. Those hidden, maybe suppressed things come forward. And that shows in sadness and overwhelm, maybe also frustration. It can also lead to depressive episodes because this consistent self-neglect, this suppressing of what you truly need, will have an impact on you. A classic is ruminating about the conversation that we had. We are going through it again and again. We are feeling and processing what has been there as energy, as emotions. A couple of years ago, in one of my darkest episodes, I had to fight with severe sadness and hopelessness. And in the beginning, I didn't even understand what was going on. But when I looked deeper inside of me, I had to realize that some of my friendships that I had been taken care of for a long time, those friends were completely dismissing my needs. They were absolutely not seeing who I am and what I really need. The weird thing was that because I was understanding them so well, even that some of the stuff was really twisted, I was not standing in for myself. I was not setting these boundaries. I was not clearly speaking out what I need and what I see and what doesn't work for me. When I realized that and I came back into connection with myself, I became much more aware of what is going on. And from then on, I set clear boundaries whenever those things happened again. And really the strange and difficult thing here is that when we are ignoring ourselves, we are not recognizing that we are ignoring ourselves. And this is why we can take on with these things for years and years and years without making the next really important step. So instead of asking yourself if you are a people pleaser, it's much more important to ask yourself, how nourishing is the relationship that you are in? Are you taking care of what you truly need? How is it about the boundaries? Are you able to express your boundaries without stepping out of the relationship? Can you lean in and stay connected while you're expressing what's really going on inside of you? You even can have a boundary that the other person's not understanding. It's really about setting your own standards of what you truly need. And self-connection is so important because otherwise you don't know what boundaries you need. This is not just, it's all about me. This is about staying in contact with the other person without disappearing yourself. The big insight is you can take care of yourself while you are taking care for others too. It's really about balancing how you do that and having this awareness and this attention, what is going on in the situation. If you want to feel more happy and fulfilled in your life, you need to stop ignoring yourself. And when I say you deserve better, I really mean with better that you are very aware of what your true needs are and that you learn to express them, that you can hold boundaries, even that other people are not understanding it. It's not about giving up your capacity to take care and understand others, but it's really about using this capacity also for yourself. And this needs a little bit of training. It needs a little bit of practice for yourself. But when you learn that more and more, when you build this deeper connection with yourself, the relationships that you will have become more truthful, more nourishing, and more satisfying for yourself. And to be honest, there might also be relationships where you recognize this is not what I want to experience in my life. This is not what is really helpful. And sometimes those relationships end. And that's also okay, even that it is sad. When you recognize that you have been ignoring yourself, now it's the time to stop with that and learn to stay in self-connection and find ways in expressing what you truly need more openly. If the pattern of ignoring yourself is running inside of you for years, it can pile up and turn into a crisis. If you are at that point, I recommend to you my video about 7 principles of going through such a crisis and using this transition to find back to yourself. See you in the next video.